Hello, my friends. Let's talk about the upcoming new moon on April 27th in the sign of Taurus and all the hype. It's a super moon. It just means it's closer. That's all I'll say about that piece. Let's share the screen. I'll show the chart to you and we'll get started. Actually, I won't. I'll say more about that. The supermoon is nice because it's something that's been going around since about 1980s. I think it was the 1980s. And the energy of that just means as the moon comes around and it circles the earth, it has this oblong shape, if you will. I'm making this super simple. And when it's a full moon, sometimes it's at the closer aspect, the closer path to us than at other times. And we usually get three of those a year. We get three super moons, and then we'll have new moons that do that. We'll have the full moons that do it, and then they're also at the part where they're at their furthest away. So I'm not making a big deal out of it. I know some people do, and that's fine. I want to talk about the moon, the new moon in Taurus, and what we get to work with in that regard. And with this new moon, I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm also going to talk about how it is at the halfway point between Mars and Pluto. Now, over in my Patreon, I've talked about this, the Mars-Pluto opposition and this new moon in a little further depth. But let's get started for what we have going on for today. So this super moon in the sign of Taurus, April 27th, gives us a fresh start, for us to center in and focus on stability, patience, and security. So what does all of that mean to you? Which means you need to define what that is for you. But it's powerful for us to have these new moons. I love the moon in Taurus. It's in its exalted sign, and this is giving us that opportunity to reevaluate what matters to you. What matters to you the most? Because we do need, with this world and all of the upheaval, and we'll get to the Mars Pluto in a minute, but I want to start with the Taurus focus because this new moon is giving us that opportunity to center in on the things that help you feel secure. So again, whether it's where's your stability, what helps you to feel stable, you have to define that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's up to you. Is it food? Is it your physical well-being? Is it quiet time in nature? That's my thing. I love good food and I love being out in nature. I have Taurus rising. So the Taurus energy, this new moon in Taurus, gives all of us the opportunities to get in alignment with that, for us to become very intentional and to commit to the things that you want in your life to become more grounded. Okay, so it encourages us to slow down. The sign of Taurus, this where the new moon is a fixed earth sign. So that says slow down, get intentional, commit to what you want to grow over time. Building stronger finances, feeling more food secure or more home secure. Whatever it is, take your time. This takes patience and it's worth the effort. Yeah, it's worth the effort. And it gives us a comforting feeling when the world is in such upheaval. So let's look at that Pluto-Mars opposition next, because this new moon is not happening like in a void. It'd be nice if it was in a peaceful vacuum, if you will, but it is caught in between Mars and Pluto. And as you can see on the screen here, it is halfway between the two. There's the moon, halfway between Mars and Pluto. And while it's in between that, it creates that square aspect to both of those is very challenging. The opposition aspect between Mars and Pluto is on April 26th. And so that intensity has already peaked before we get to the new moon. it peaked while the moon was in its balsamic lunar phase. And what that means is like something typically will have come to a head right before this new moon. And now we really get to see the full story about whatever that subject is. The energy in this week that we have this new moon, the moon is in the waning phase. It's in the last week of its monthly phase. And as we're coming and getting closer and closer to this new moon, the moon is waning. And then we have Mars and Pluto kicking up. We have the sun in the exact square to Pluto, and then we have Mars and then Pluto exactly opposite each other. And I know that's a lot of astrology words, but that basically means that there's a lot of pressure for us to accomplish something, and a lot of pressure. It's like a pressure cooker, and you're not letting the steam off. And if you don't let that steam off those pressure cookers fast enough, long enough, it creates an explosion. So Mars in Leo is bold and it's fiery, but it's unwilling to back down. Pluto in Aquarius is focused on deep transformation and personal empowerment. Aquarius doesn't also doesn't want to back down. Aquarius is fixed air, and so that means we have something in our mind or a way of thinking that we need to let go. So, having this accentuated and very nice and very sensual and very grounded feeling new moon in Taurus, in between, halfway between these two other energies that are very bombastic and very dynamic and fixed and stuck. Taurus is a fixed sign too, but having that, it's like trying to meditate in a room when two people are arguing in the next room. You have to be very committed and devoted to what you want to focus on. And that is like the main theme, the way I'm seeing it right now, that this full moon has, what it has to offer. Now, another thing that Mars Pluto opposition can do, it's very much an internal conflict. And we can see it out in the world, and then it stirs up our own insecurities and fear and internal conflicts as well. And so it really is these power struggles that are going on. I want us not to force change. That's going to be a really hard thing since these two zodiac signs are fixed. And so, with that new moon activating both of those two planets, we can stop and ask ourselves some things. First off, be patient with yourself. If the world is imploding around you, then again, this Taurus new moon, I keep doing this because I want you to bring things back to your center. I want you to really take some time, have patience with yourself and with those you deeply care for, and discover, what you need to feel more secure in these uncertain times. Now, if what's going on in the world doesn't affect you or doesn't bother you or you don't care, that's fine too. That's what's going on for you. Because again, we each have our own stories and our own focus. But the main piece of this is to bring everything into your internal, that internal compass, so you are able to focus on what you value the most. So here's a couple questions I would pose. It's like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Whatever is going on in your life, you're going to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I focusing on? What has value to me? Am I chasing something that actually doesn't matter to me? Because with so much going on around us, we can get quite scattered. And this is a wonderful opportunity with this Taurus full moon to bring it back to what you value the most. And that is something that, I just feel is just absolutely imperative with this new moon. Now, you don't have to figure out exactly what you want right away. I mean, I always post these early, contemplate what you're going to be doing before we get to the new moon is regularly asking yourself, what are the top three, to pick three, whatever, top three things that you value the most in your life right now? Or what are those things that you want to come back to and value? Because sometimes we get really scattered when the energies around us are so chaotic as they happen to be right now. You need to sit down and ask yourself, and you can work on that, throughout the time that when you first see this until we get to that new moon. And you can even process this after the new moon, but you got plenty of time to process this before. And so think about, what are those three things that you value right now in your life, or processes or things you'd like to value? What can you do? What space are you making for these things, right? Because if you value your body, but you don't have time to exercise, that's the point. Finding time to exercise. If you're spending your energy on things that you're just spinning your wheels, I'm really asking you to bring that back to where you are now, so you can find the clarity that you need, and take the energy of what Mars and Pluto is including with this new moon. And Mars is what we're passionate about, even though we can be a little fixed with it. They're in conflict, but they're not in conflict forever. And then taking the Pluto energy and helping you to begin something different, go a little deeper. Yeah. It's like, here's a good example. You want to do better taking care of your body. And you don't have to do this all at once. Taurus is slow and meticulous, has patience, is steady, reliable. And if you want to change something, because, our senses, how we feel, our senses, sight, smell, taste, etc. And this part, the throat, you probably can't see me, but the throat and our voice, that's the part of the body that Taurus is in charge of. But I love the senses piece, because to me, it's like good food. I mean, I like real simple, good food. I'm not a fancy food person, but I like simple, good food. And that's just my thing. But the senses are good, the taste, the sight, the cooking, the way we can take care of these things, the way we can really engage in this new moon is to set intentions around the fact that you want to say, I want to start cooking more at home, you know, making 3 meals a week at home, whatever it is. Start slow. Taurus would be really happy with that. Taurus is the turtle, not the hare. hmm The tortoise, not the hare. That's Taurus. So do that. Listen to your clues. Listen to your body. If your body's asking for more, the energetic body isn't necessarily Taurus, but the energetic body comes into the physical body. So pay attention to that too. Get out of your head. Go cook something. Go take a walk without your phone. Plant something, even if you don't have any land. Make some, use some garden pots and whatever, and just put them on your porch, whatever you need to. That's some of the best ways to create intentions that can stick. So I intend to build more. Here's a few. I intend to build more financial stability by creating a budget and sticking to it. I intend to nourish my body with food and rest and nature, things that support me. And then the throat, because I really haven't talked about the voice much in this forecast, but Taurus does rule the voice and the thyroid and the neck, right? So I intend to speak my truth with more confidence and less fear. Keep these intentions simple and easy for yourself. That is the best way to get started on these things. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure in this world. I'm going to stop my share now. There's a lot of pressure in this world to hurry and get things right quickly. Taurus is giving us all permission to make one or two simple changes, but consistent and persistent and stable, so we can feel safer and more grounded. no matter what's going on in the world. Okay. The written forecast is on my blog, on my website, and get on my newsletter because you get all kinds of good insight. I send it like 2 to 3 times a month. I'm not a mass marketer, you guys. You're going to get one email from me confirming you want to do it. After that, 2 to 3 emails a month with this type of content, all kinds of news, insight, etc. So thank you so much for your support. Patreon, thank you so much. You guys get it first. And everybody else, thank you for your support. Don't forget, supporting small businesses like me. I'm it. I don't have any assistance. Is so important right now. So your favorite creators and people like myself, we really appreciate you and we need you to get through these times that are a little tricky. So thank you so much. I really do value you guys. All right. Blessings. Namaste.